MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershey Design. Hershey Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop if you're in need of an iRacing paint league team or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag. Hit up Orion at the Hershey Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also, iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeedTV and partners.
Welcome back, race fans. You're watching MaxSpeedTV over here. You're about to get to see the Salt Flat Racing Street Stock Shootout Challenge over here. Myself, Roger Muth, as always, over here to broadcast these guys. I also got Bobby Johnson in the booth with me tonight. Bobby Johnson, you got a copy with us.
Got a copy. Hey, this is going to be a fun night. The Turtles have invaded Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. These guys are betting everything on green tonight. Green flag racing. Or, well, maybe they're going to find the inside green grass out here in Vegas, as we know there's not much of green grass out in Vegas. But, Bobby, you jumped out there in these cars a little bit ago. I saw you out there in practice. You joined as a driver by mistake here tonight. What were you doing out there? How'd the cars feel since you were firsthand on track?
Well, the cars felt actually very well. They got a really good setup for this track. Basically, you just keep the loud pedal to the floor as hard as you can push it, and you don't let off. I will say one thing. I'm really shocked. Your momentum, obviously 130 mile an hour, all the street stocks get out here because they're so heavy, and that's just the way they're designed. But a big part of this factor right now is drafting. I couldn't go anywhere. I was a sitting duck by myself. But when I got in there and started drafting with some of these guys, you could really make some good headway, and you can really make some good moves. So drafting is extremely important in this race.
Drafting is going to be a factor. As I saw you guys out there drafting, you actually helped the number 21, Jeff Bergner, as you see him up on the top of the speed charts there on the left-hand side. You were out there pushing him around for a little while, and that shot him right up to position 1 here in qualifying.
Yeah, if you've got teammates out here and these teammates work together, this is the same thing as a super speedway track. If you got the teammates out there and you work together, you push each other, you can maneuver yourself right on up towards the front of this pack when we get going here, depending on where you've qualified at. If you're up front and you got a teammate by you, you just go off into the sunset, if you will. Drafting is extremely important. Tires weren't too bad. I ran 15 laps on a set of tires. It wasn't too bad whatsoever. The cars, you can still handle the car very well. I'm looking here to see a lot of green flag racing tonight, Roger.
Green Flag Racing would be great as you guys, excuse me, losing a little bit of voice here. We're about to watch the Salt Flat Racing Street Stock Shootout, as Bobby would like to call the Turtles, as you will. These guys are going to go a little bit slower than what cars you guys are normally used to watching here at Las Vegas. Used to watching the Xfinity cars or the Cup cars or the truck cars or even possibly the K&N cars. These guys running the Street Stocks going to have a lot of time to think about your moves, and I'm not sure, did you make the comment that possibly these guys were, it's like a mini Daytona out there? I know we talked about draft, but it's pretty much flat to the floor, so you could hold it wide open like a Daytona.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, I ran about 12 or 14 laps there, and I never took my foot off the loud pedal. It's hammer down all the way, get into a good drafting position, and then, make your moves whenever you can. But you really need to stay in line and draft, because that is what's going to make it tonight.
That's right. As you see the clock, we got about 5 minutes left here in practice. Let's see if we can pull up your point standings, as we got a guy out here tonight that is pretty much just about running away with the show. Craig Schwartz is on, there's a guy out here who's been running away with the points lately. He's been finishing 1, 2, possibly third. We haven't seen him really fall out of the top 5 all season. Chris Brown, he's out on track here tonight. He's 36 points behind Craig. Cole Day, or Cole Knight, is your third place guy. Dan LaFoe sitting in 4th in points. Colton Farrow sitting 5th. Andrew Davis is right there in the 6th position. The guy who we haven't seen much here with the Salt Flat Racing League, that's going to be Cody Levitt. He's sitting right there in that 7th position. Danny Valenzuela is 8th. Brandon Miller, who is out here on track. We weren't sure if he was going to make it tonight as he was having computer issues. He's out there. He's 9th in the points. Matt Grobelny, he rounds out your top 10. Michael Klein's 11th in points. Chase Stanton right there in 12th. Jay Steffi, 13th. Michael Whitaker in the 14th position. Josiah Millen, who does not seem to be in the lobby tonight. Or Tyson Hawkins right there. That's 15th and 16th. Nicholas Day are also missing in action. These guys, a couple of these guys are taken off because of the holiday we had last week. Jeff Pogo right there, 18th. Kerry Chim, 19th. And Fadi Shamez in your 20th position.
These cars, Roger, the great thing about these cars is if you get into anybody, if you accidentally door them, or you hit them a little too hard or whatnot, you're not going to send them out on a wild spin, or they're not going to hit the wall. These things are heavy enough and you're going slow enough, you can recover from just about any bump that you get from another competitor. So that's what makes me lead to believe that we're going to have a lot more green flag racing tonight here.
Absolutely. That's what we look forward to seeing. Let's see if we're going to be able to get a word in here quick. We got a couple minutes here. Let's see if we can get a pre-race interview in with the guy who is your points leader. Let's see, Craig Schwartz, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, Craig, we see you out there on track. You're leading the points out here with Salt Flat Racing. What's the track feeling like tonight? Because you're about slotted in the, looks like about the 9th position currently on the time charts.
It's pretty much flat out all the way around. It's just, it's going to be a big draft session, and just gotta make sure you stick with your teammates and just guys you're friends with. Make sure you can get a group going towards the front.
So tonight, draft going to be a big factor. Are you guys going to be able to make moves, though? It does seem like it's probably a bottom groove track right now. Is the upper lane possibly going to come in, or what's going to happen with that, you think?
I think once we get into a pack, it'll end up where we'll be able to have a second lane. Probably no more than that. But I think a second lane will be able to get going just because of the side draft. But I think it'll end up being all right by the end of the race.
Well, hey, you're the points leader. You got a 36-point lead coming into here to Vegas. That's over Chris Brown, and then a 68-point lead back to your third place teammate. That's going to be Cole Knight right there. So you pretty much just got to hang on for the rest of the season. You only got a handful of races here left. What's your goals for the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having the big points lead, nice. Just want to hold on to that, and I really just got to make sure I'm finishing up front. And like I think I finished in the top 5 in about every race I've been in. So if I can just keep that up, I think that'll get me where we need to be, and just hope we can win the points and it'll be fun.
There you go. Well, hey, Craig, thanks for coming up here and talking with us. You got about 1:20 left in practice. Get back out there, turn a couple laps, and hope to talk to you at the end.
Hey, thanks, guys, and go Dayton Flyers. We're up 10 right now.
Well, there he is. That was Craig Schwartz, your points leader out there. Currently back in the 10th position in practice, but hey, it's practice. Got a couple guys that haven't turned a lap yet. But right now, you're watching the Salt Flat guys. They got about a minute left here in practice. Coming up next, going to be qualifying. Later tonight, you got Racing for a Cause, a K&N series, the Pro Series over here. That's going to be after us right here on MaxSpeedTV. Tomorrow night, you got the USRA, the Xfinity Series, and then you also got the Upstate Racing Pro Late Models. Those guys put on one heck of a show tomorrow night. But tonight, you got the Salt Flat guys. Well, Bobby, it's about that time we step away for a moment, get the national anthem played, and we're going to be right back with you here. And we also have to apologize. Sorry about the sound quality issue there in the beginning. That was my fault. I had my settings changed from last night. So we got it all squared away, and we're going to be right back with you.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back, race fans. You haven't missed much. Just 2 minutes of qualifying out here. A couple of these guys making laps. Craig Schwartz currently sitting in the P1 on the individual runs. As we saw him just work by right there, he is. Now Dan LaFoe takes that number 27 machine. He puts it up on pole. A couple of these guys haven't made qualifying attempts. Just 9 guys so far. Got a couple guys out on track yet. Who are you looking at tonight, Bobby? You got a couple guys who've turned in times. A couple guys who are still out there who haven't turned in times.
Well, to be honest with you, it's anybody's race tonight, Roger. Like I said, it's a drafting party out here is what we got going. If you got some teammates out here that can work together and just stay kind of patient or whatnot, they're going to work their way up to the front, and they got a good chance of winning this race. Craig Schwartz, no surprise right there. He's been awesome at every track in this series right now. Cody Levette, he's another gentleman that you want to keep your eye on. And also, don't forget our buddy there, Chris Brown. He's another guy that you want to keep your eye on. But really, it's anybody's game right now, Roger. It's who can draft the best. And green flag pit stops, I see that happening all day today, too, to be honest with you. And you know as well as I do, green flag pit stops, they are a pain in the butt for some of these drivers because they don't get to do it all the time. It's usually under a caution.
That is true. As you see, Cody right here in the 38, he's making his last attempt here at qualifying. Was slotted in the 13th position. Let's see where he moves up to now into the 10th position. Jeff Bergner in that 21 machine. He now put it on pole. Brandon Miller, as we saw him a minute ago, he was up there, but now got bumped down into the second place. Craig Schwartz is in third. Danny Valenzuela has fourth. And Colton Farrow right now rounds out your top 5 in qualifying with about a minute and 20 to go. Cole Day also finally out on track, about to make his time run. It looks like he has 1 lap in the books right now. He's slotted in the 14th position. Looking to see on the second timed lap here if he can make it up any better. Bobby, these guys I did notice are still out there running their all-star paint jobs for the most part. A couple guys have changed it, but I did hear from the admins that they're going to go full-time with an IROC-based paint scheme for next year.
I think that's an awesome idea because it brings back the old IROC series racing. And that's exactly what this seems like. I know they were talking about doing it. I think it's a really awesome thing to do. There's nobody out here that I'm aware of in iRacing that actually does this street stock in the super speedways. So I just think it's a nice tradition that is long lost, and they're bringing it back, and I love it.
As it looks like there's only one guy out on track yet, that is Cody Levitt. But he's already turned in his time. He's just making pit runs right now. Well, Bob, we got about 20 seconds to go. It doesn't look like anybody else is going to qualify. You didn't give me a pick here tonight. You gave me a handful of guys to watch out for, but who you going to bet your money on tonight?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to go out on the limb right here, and I am going to say Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. Well, it's a bold strategy there, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out. There you go. Now you see the checkered flags. It looks like qualifying is going to be over, Bobby. Let's see if we can work through this grid. Starting on your pole tonight, that's going to be the 21 of Jeff Bergner. Starting in the second position, the 44 of Brandon Mullet Miller. Starting in the third position, Chris Brown himself there in that one machine. Starting right alongside him, that's going to be the 37 of Cole Day. Starting in the fourth position, that's going to be Cole's teammate. That's going to be the 02 of Craig Schwartz. Sitting in the sixth position, the 04 of Danny Ricky Valenzuela. In the seventh position, that's going to be the 62 Colton Farrow. Starting in the eighth position in the 707 machine, Michael Whitaker. In the eighth position, the number 4 of Matt Grobelny. In the 10th position, rounding out the top 10, the 91 of Willie Evernham.
Like the 11th positions, the 51 of Liam Sheen. The 12th position, number 38, Cody Levitt. That's one guy you want to watch out for. He's been on a roll in about everything he sets in. He's really good at drafting. Keep your eye on this guy. 13th position is the 27 of Dan LaFoe. That is another one that's also in drafting mode. He's very good at drafting. Keep your eyes open for him. 14th position, 77 of Kerry Chiem, I believe, out of Ohio, my state. 15th position is going to be Cody Griffin. And the 16th position will be the number 10 of Michael Klein.
That's going to round out your 16 cars here tonight that have gridded to take the green here at Vegas with the Salt Flat Racing League. These guys are gridding up. We're going to hopefully get them turned loose here in a couple.
Roger, do these guys have any fast repairs?
They have one fast repair out there tonight. And before we take these this warm-up lap, let's see if we can get the pre-race analyst. We got 60 laps. Is the lap count tonight 90 miles the distance? It looks like the tire window, we're just estimating probably about 15 to 20 laps. Fuel window right around 22 to 27. Draft's going to be a factor there. I got 45 miles an hour on pit road speed. That's actually incorrect. It's 50. Las Vegas has been changed. So 50 miles an hour down pit road. Track temp here tonight is about 78 degrees. Could see a couple degrees change in that yet. See how these cars handle when it changes.
Well, I can tell you right now, speaking of the word changes, we're going to have a lot of changes. You're going to have a lot of changes for the lead right here. You got a lot of guys up in here that have teammates in the top 5 or 6 positions right here. And teammates is where it's at right now. Drafting is where it's at. You don't have to worry about your fuel mileage that much, but I'll tell you, when you have one fast repair, Roger, that gives these guys an opportunity to let it all hang out, and they will make extremely aggressive moves because they have a fast repair to play with.
One fast repair is all these guys have. Bobby, I just realized I never gave my pick tonight. I'm going to go with the guy who we haven't seen up front since about Pocono. I'm going to go with that 4 Matt Grobelny. I thought I'd throw that out there for you. I thought you'd appreciate him.
Absolutely. Matt is another guy. He's also one of these fellas that he's not afraid to let it all hang out, and he's also very good in the draft, too.
Well, it looks like we're about to get these cars wound up as we're waiting on the pace car. It is a Porsche here tonight. They chose to get rid of that dreaded Mustang because it was just too dang slow.
It was making everybody sick in the front row.
As you see these guys holding them way back here on the early start. Let's see what happens here once the pace car is finally off. We're getting ready, waiting on the green flag to get these guys up and going. The green is out. We are racing here at Las Vegas for the Salt Flat Racing League, the Street Stock Shootout. Jeff Bergner going to be your leader there on that inside row.
You can see them already, Roger. They're already bump drafting. These cars are so heavy that can actually get away with bump drafting into these turns. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But you can see them already getting right up underneath, nose to tail with each other, trying to get that draft working already.
Out front, it's still Jeff Bergner. He's right there in that, it looks like the rustic maroon looking color there, the 21. Chris Brown to his inside, and then it's going to be the 02 of Craig Schwartz on the inside. Outside's going to be the 44, Brandon Miller being pushed by the 37 of Cole Day.
You could throw a blanket over these first 3 rows right here. That's how close it is. And, man, I'll tell you what, like I said, they're going to beat these bumpers absolutely to death during this whole entire race.
Look at them as they spread out going into turn 1 as we take a little angle cam there off the track surface. Brandon Miller fighting back there on that outside, being pushed by Cole Day. I kind of like that outside lane, Bobby.
The outside lane is really, really fast, just like at a lot of your racetracks. You get a lot of momentum coming out of that turn. You can just run it right up high. You're using a whole lot of tire wear when you do that also, Roger.
Green flag racing as 2 laps are in the book. We're working to lap 3. Once we get back to the line, it's still side by side for your first 2 rows. Then you got a little bit of a break, the 02 there on the inside. That's going to be Craig Schwartz there and slotted back in the 5th position. Then it's a little bit of a break back to Danny Vanezuela and Colton Farrow, those 2 cars that are side by side, battling it out for the 6th and the 7th position.
You won't see these guys doing a whole lot of side drafting like you would see in your Xfinity cars and your Cup cars and trucks like that, because really these cars are so heavy that side drafting really doesn't slow down the line that much. So they are going to give themselves plenty of room to run here, but you are going to see a whole lot of turtle pushing, and that's exactly what these guys are doing.
That's right, these guys look like a bunch of turtles. Jeff Bergner still out front, though. Brandon Miller still trying his little hardest there on the outside with Cole Knight pushing him. Now you see Brandon Miller try and get a little bit of side draft, but side drafting, like you said, doesn't really work here with the street stocks because they're already slow enough. And once you get these cars near each other, they start dancing around, and that does not play well for anybody at that point.
This is more of a game of strategy right now. This is how this race is going to be. It's all strategy. Who you can work with, who you trust to work with, who you don't want to be around. I mean, there's a whole lot of factors in this right here. And as you can see, these front guys right here, I mean, they're nose to tail, and they've been nose to tail now for over 5 laps. So obviously they're very comfortable with who they're with.
That's right, side by side for the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position, and then it's right there, single filed out. Craig Schwartz starts the single file there, the 3rd car in the inside lane. Then you got to go back a little bit in the pack as you see a little bit of swirliness there coming off the 37, off the 44's back bumper as they go down the backstretch. That inside lane, though, the 21 of Jeff Bergner, the 1 of Chris Brown, and the 02 of Craig Schwartz. Nose to tail, those guys haven't left the bottom, haven't tried to pass each other. They've just been riding around. It's really early yet. Oh, as you see the 44 into the 21, that upsets the 21. Now they're going to go 3 wide. Cole Day still pushing the 21, though. Now it looks like he's going to release. It's going to put the 21 in the middle. Cole Day is trying to push the 44 to the front. Jeff Bergner, though, gives way, lets those guys have it. He realizes it's way too early. Chris Brown, now your new leader.
These guys are running. They're running like it's their last lap, and they can do that because they can keep the accelerator all the way to the floor. It's just basically when you're going to bump that person to give him that little edge. You've seen right there that Brandon Miller, he just slammed, gotten slammed by the 37 right there to try to get ahead of Chris Brown, but the 02 is just doing a great job pushing Chris, and right now Chris is still leading it.
Chris Brown still leading at the line. Give the bonus point to the 1 car as he's the inside control car now being pushed by the 02 of Craig Schwartz. The guy there who definitely got the short end of the stick, if you will, that's going to be the 21 of Jeff Bergner. He's now all the way back to the 15th spot. I wonder if he has a little bit of damage on that or if he's just trying to check his shorts, get back into the game here.
Now, back behind these 4 cats out here fighting for this lead, you got the 62 of Colton Farrow, Cole Day, Craig Swartz, Brandon Miller, Chris Brown, or I'm sorry, Brandon Miller, all those guys are getting single file, and that's exactly what they got to do. They got to get single file. They got to break that air. They got to draft their way so they can just ease themselves right back up into the fight up in this front position up here.
Now you got to train on the bottom up here at the front. Chris Brown, Craig Swartz, Cold Day, all there on the bottom. Nose to tails, you see Brown get a little bit squirrely off the front bumper of Schwartz. Now watch out for these three as they get hooked up. We've seen them work together a lot. And once they get hooked up, these three are a hard trio to separate.
All you got to do is line up that bumper and make sure you don't hook them like you see right here. The 44 just got hooked, and now he goes spinning off into the infield. Hopefully he doesn't go up the track, and he does.
Oh,
and
no, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to come back up into the track. We were green flag racing. That was lap 9. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here with the 44, the 62 of Colton Farrow, and unfortunately, that's going to take along the 77 of Kerry Chim and the 51 of Liam. They were that's going to start right here on the bottom of your screen. The 62 holds his line. The 44 wants to come down. The 44 looks like to continue just turning. Then the 44 goes through the grass, comes right back up, collects the 4. Macro Belny involved, the 51 of Sheen involved, the 77 of Kerry Chim involved. That's not what you want to do. Macro Belny up on his lid there. Let's see if we can go back and see this from Matt's point of view. Oh. Right along here with the 4 Macro Belny as he was riding in about the 7th, 8th position, battling it out. As you just see those guys go down through the apron, he lifts a little bit, and right there, it looks like there's the 44. Nowhere to go for the 4 of Macro Belny. Unfortunately, you heard his motor expire also in that incident, so he's going to have to tow that 4 machine back. He has one quick repair, but it looks like his night's about to be over.
And unfortunately, he was just basically at the wrong place at the right time. There was nothing he could do. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he didn't even see that car coming. You don't even know what hit him. And to be honest with you, I'm really shocked that he was not able to keep that car down on that infield.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance that took a lot of guys out there that didn't need to see that. Chris Brown, everybody down pit road, it looks like. Looks like the only one who might possibly be staying out is going to be the 04 Danny Venezuela. Willie Evernham. I want to call him Ricky Evernham, but that's Willie Evernham. He's also staying out. As you see a bunch of those guys still on pit road that were wrapped up in that incident. Chris Brown, Cold Day, they're all coming down. Craig Schwartz looks to possibly be having some pit stall issues there.
And that's one thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to screw up a yellow flag pit stop because it doesn't get any easier than that. And these street stocks, it takes them a little while to get all 4 tires changed anyway. But what little time that you lose on your pit stops, it could be, 5, 6, 8, 10 seconds, even 400, 500 feet out on that track. And that's hard to make up.
As you saw the race off pit road, Cold Day is going to be your winner off pit road. Craig Schwartz, Chris Brown, Dan LaFoe, Cody Levitt, Cody Griffin, a new guy out there in the 1-2-3 car. That's Cody Griffin. Haven't seen him. Don't know too much about him. Heard he's a pretty quick racer. Right now in that 8th position there in the 1-2-3 car, the red car, because he does not have a paint to match a lot of these guys. But
well, I know one thing, Roger. If I'm ever out racing and you're broadcasting or whatever, please don't pick me to win because apparently you've got some bad mojo.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a hold of that number 4 car of Macro Belny and see what his take was there on that accident. Matt, you got a copy. It's Roger and Bobby up in the booth.
Got you loud and clear there.
Well, Matt, not the start of the race you wanted to see as that number 4 machine is all tore up. What did you see? We did watch your point of view. It looked like you didn't have pretty much anywhere to go.
Basically, I just saw a driver come down into someone else, start spinning to the infield, and it almost seems like he just came back up onto the track, and I had absolutely no shot at dodging it.
No shot at dodging it. So that 4 car, we heard the motor expire. You do have that one quick repair out there. What's the strategy going to be here going forward as you're on lap 12 out of 60, but you're a lap down at this point?
I definitely feel like we can get some lucky dogs out here and get back on the lead lap. If not, I'm just going to be out here trying to get some points, waiting for other people to wreck and so forth.
So that's not the day you wanted, as you are currently 10th in points here with the street stock guys. At this point, I guess you're just trying to save your day, see if you can retain that 10th place position currently in points.
Got it out. Try and get some laps back here and make our way back up there.
Well, hey, good luck the rest of the way. Try and keep that 4 machine clean because right now you got the front bumper off it, the hood off it.
Yeah, I had 3 minutes of towing. Back on the track here now, though. So we'll be all right.
Well, hey, good luck the rest of the way. Keep her clean.
Thank you.
There you heard it from the man himself, the 4-car, Matt Grobelny. Just going to pretty much ride around, hope to get a couple wave arounds if he can.
Roger, you can hear the pain and the disgust in his voice in that interview. It's a hard thing to come back from when you're several laps down, especially with these cars right here. But if anybody can do it, Matt can do it. So I'm anxious to see how much of that laps that he's down that he can knock off here, and hopefully he can get back up in this.
It looks like Matt is currently going to be slotted 4 laps down. It's going to be hard for him to make up that ground, as we did see quite a few green flag laps there. We saw 10 green flag laps. Now we're under caution. Bobby, here's what the interesting part about this league is that we like with the Turtle League out here. Danny Valenzuela there in the 04 started in the 6th position. You saw him riding about the 6th position the whole time. He elected to not come down and pit, so he's going to have 13 laps on his tires compared to those other guys who all just came in and got fresh rubber. Let's see what happens to that 04 of Danny Valenzuela.
Well, it's not going to be that big of a deal, but I'll tell you what the big deal is. You've got Mr. Chris Brown sitting right there, and if Chris ends up getting down underneath him, or Cole Day or somebody to giving him a good push, he's going to get loose. Obviously, the worn tires, 13 laps on these tires right here. He has lost some of his wear, and it's going to make that car really loose. And let's face it, man, these cats up here, they love to bump. They love to bump and grind. And that's going to play a factor right now.
Well, Ricky Valenzuela right there, not waiting around at all. The pace car ducked off. He hit the loud pedal. He wanted to get out ahead of these guys with those tires.
He could run, Roger, but he can't hide because these 3 guys, Cole Day, Craig Swartz, and Chris Brown, they're all going to triple up right here and go single file, and they're going to run him down.
Dan LaFoe also coming to party. Now he's there in that purple car on the inside, the 27. Dan LaFoe slotted in the 4th position. As you see him work down the backstretch, a lot of these guys pretty much single filed out. Only 3 cars that are on the outside lane right now, 2 cars on the outside lane. Current top 5 going to be Danny Valenzuela, Cole Day, Craig Schwartz, Dan LaFoe, Chris Brown is going to be your top 5. As you got actually, it looks like the top 6 right there, nose to tail pushing coming through the tri-oval. As there's a move by the 1-2-3, that's Cody Griffin, the new guy. He's going to the inside of Chris Brown. Now he looks like he might go to the inside of Dan LaFoe. That looks like Chris Brown's going to have no choice but to go with the 27 there on the outside, as he's going to make a liar of us. Looks like he wants to duck underneath, but he's going to slot in. Now they're going to go single file again.
That was a pretty good move right there by the 123, the new guy. He had a lot of momentum being the caboose of that little train right there, and he was able to work his way up, and he was able to pass Chris Brown and also the 27 right there, Dan LaFoe.
Now look at this. Everybody pretty much single filed out. It looks like the 91 of Willie Evernham. He was battling back here with the 77 of Kerry Chim. Kerry Chim is fortunately on the lead lap after that incident. So right now it looks like we got 13 cars still on the lead lap. Looks like everybody out there except for the 44 of Brandon Miller is still on track.
I'm not sure, Roger, but I think that 123 of Cody Griffin, I think he's got his foot pushed all the way through the dadgum floor of his house because he has got some serious momentum.
Oh no, there's the 1-2-3 is around. Let's see if he can save it, hang on to it. Nobody else involved. Everybody's going high. Now it looks like the one of Chris Brown is around. It's the 707 of Michael Whitaker also going around. The 10 of Michael Klein going around. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened there. Let's see as we watch from above here what happened to that one machine. As you see him following right there, the inside car. He's the green car following the purple car. As they work into the corner, you see a little incident happen in front of them, a little scuffle. Everybody goes high. He makes a little contact there with Michael Klein, and then around it goes. He collects Jeff Bergner. Jeff Bergner runs into the 707 of Whitaker. Quite a few guys again wrapped up into that. There's the 10 of Michael Klein. He slid to the inside. Let's see if we can go back a little bit farther. Watch it once again here. See if we can get a little bit closer for you.
You know, all of these guys in this wreck right here, if they would have had a little bit more room, they all could have, had a good opportunity of saving it. That was what's nice about these street stocks. You can save it. You have the ability to. But the problem is, you're going into those turns pretty hot, and the 123 there, he just got up a little bit too high, and he's what started the whole chain of events.
The guy who was real lucky coming through that's going to be the 38 of Cody Levitt. He was right in the middle of that when the one came back up and got into Michael Klein, and then he came out of that scot-free.
Now, again, we have that fast repair. As long as nobody blows an engine, unfortunately, that's what happened to Matt Grumbly. It blew his motor. He had to wait and get like a 3 or 4 minute tow back there. By then, you're many laps down. These guys don't blow their motor. They can go back in. They can get fixed up under fast repair, and they're still on the lead lap, and they're ready to battle it one more time.
Well, a bunch of strategy being played again out there. Dan LaFoe now is going to be your leader. He's on 7-lap old tires. Willie Evernham in the 91, he's going to be slotted into that second position. The 62 of Colton Farrow, he's going to be third. Your first guy on new tires, that's going to be the 02 of Craig Schwartz in fourth. Cole Day, the 37, he's in your fifth position. And then the 38 of Cody Levitt right there, sixth. Michael Whitaker slotted into that seventh position. He was wrapped up in that accident. The 21 of Jeff Bergner also wrapped up. He's in eighth, but back out on track. Danny Vanezuela, who was your leader there. Now he came down to pit, but he had a bad pit stop. It was spent about 28 seconds in pit road getting work done to that the 04. Kerry Chim in the 77. He's in the 10th position.
Well, obviously, the way they're running right now, as of right now, fuel mileage is not really of any importance whatsoever. It is kind of neat to see them run several laps and then go into the pit and get all fresh tires and come back out and battle it again, because these tires, they can bump and grind all the way around this track. I mean, it is fun to watch these street stocks run.
We had a great run there in the beginning. Right now, we're working caution number 2. This is the 6th lap of caution. We got 42 laps to go. We've had 5 lead changes, as this is like a mini Daytona here with the Turtles.
Your tires start to wear down after so many laps, and you go into these turns, especially when you're in the drafting mode. You better be prepared to turn that wheel to the left and turn it quick. Otherwise, you are going to drift up like the 123 did, and you're going to start a chain of events.
Chain of events is what we just all happened there when the 1-2-3 of Cody Griffin got a little sideways. That caused Chris Brown, Michael Klein, and all the other guys to chase their cars up the track to try and get away from the accident. Unfortunately, the one getting into the 10, that's what brought out this caution. Those guys are back out on track, though, but they're back in the 11th and 12th position.
And that's not that big of a deal being back that far, especially when they're drafting. Moves can be made. But the one thing I really worry about now, Roger, I've already used my fast repair, and I got over 40 laps to go to stay the heck out of anybody's way or anybody's accidents.
That's true. A lot of these guys have used their quick repairs already, so they're going to be probably trying to play the safe game and ride around single file. Let's see if that happens here, as we are on lap 19. We're going to be on lap 20 once we go back racing here. You are watching the Salt Flat Racing League, the Street Stock Shootout Series. Over here on MaxSpeedTV, we appreciate everybody who's tuning in out there. Iceman, Ken Pryor, Rudy Cummings, thank you for joining in, and I guess I'll thank Keith Martinson, who's also out there in chat. We appreciate everybody tuning in to watch these guys. They do put on a show. Skittles also out there. So far, a pretty good race.
It's been a great race so far. You've seen a little bit of everything. At one point, we even saw 3 wide going on right here. But like I said, the bump drafting, man, you can just beat and bang these street stocks all you want, Roger, and they're controllable. You're not going to get out of a bad situation or get out of a spin. So let's watch here. Let's watch this right here. We're getting ready to take off into the green. And when we do, watch how fast these guys start bumping already. I mean, they're nailing each other as they get the green flag right now. It looks like Dan LaFoe says, you're not going to bump me. I'm going to get a jump start on you. And he just took off right into the sunset. But watch the 91, watch the 62, and the 02. Those cats are going to get together, and before you know it here, they're going to run him and hunt him down.
The 27 of Dan LaFoe got a great jump there on that restart, so he is out to a lead. That's going to leave Willie Evernham in the 91 right there in the red car. He's going to be your second place guy. He's being pushed by the 62 of Colton Farrow, who's right there. And then right behind them, Craig Schwartz, Cole Day, Cody Levitt. Everybody single file pretty much.
And that's exactly what it's going to take to get back up here and catch Dan on that great restart that he got. And as you can see right now, the 91 of Willie Evernham, he is right now on his bumper, and he's going to try to make him move inside, but it looks like Dan LaFoe saw him and kind of gave him a little block.
But it's not over yet. The 91 still looking to the inside. It looks like he has a fender on him now. It looks like he has the preferred line going into turn 1. Colton Farrell right behind him, though, slips up. Where's Colton going to go? As he's jacked up right now by the 02 of Craig Schwartz. Single file down the backstretch.
Dan LaFleur got awful lucky right there because Colton Farrell, he kind of backed off a little bit to let him get back in line, which was awful nice of him. Now they're nose to tail.
Only battle on tracks right here between the 04 of Danny Vanezuela and the 77 of Kerry Chim. That's for the 9th and 10th position as they figured it out. They're going single file as Kerry Chim looks to be swerving all over the track. Maybe a couple drinks tonight. Back out front, though, Willie Evernham. Now Dan LaFoe jumping to the inside there in that purple car. Can Dan LaFoe keep it down on the bottom? Looks like he's going to have... Looks like he'll have the run and he'll have the help coming down the backstretch.
Right now, the preferred line is the bottom. As long as these cats get all hooked up and go nose to tail like that, they are going to be able to keep Willie Evernham out there on that outside, and they're liable to drive right by him here because he ain't got no way to hop back in line.
Willie Evernham, the man stuck on the outside. Dan LaFoe has all the help as it looks like Dan LaFoe got a little loose. There's Colton Farrell also. Oh, no! Off the front bumper.
Whoa! Here we go again. This time he slams on the brakes. The 62 does. He holds it down to the bottom line, does not go back up to the track and cause any more. So kudos out for Colton Farrell there holding that down.
21 of Jeff Bergner and the number 38 of Cody Levitt also involved. Let's go back and see if we can catch what happened to these guys as that wreck started between the 62 and it looked like the one of Chris Brown. Here we are watching the 38 and the 37, but let's see if we can find Chris Brown. Oh, Chris Brown's in the back. I'm sorry.
That'd be the 02.
02 of Craig Schwartz. It looks like he just got Colton a little free on the bumper there. They went around, and then behind them, not sure what happened, as up top the 21 of Jeff Bergner and Cody Levitt going up and over repeatedly. Let's see. Let's take it back a little ways and see what happened. Let's go here. Now we ride along watching the 38 of Cody. 21 of Jeff is there on the outside. They're right there. It looks like Cody goes right up, just gets the front bumper of the 21. That shoots both of them up and over. And Jeff is on for a wild ride.
Now the question is, again, like I said earlier, who used their fast repairs already? Because if that's the case, these guys are finished. They might as well hang up their headsets and their mouses, get their hands off the steering wheel, kick back, and watch the race and throw your mouse across the room because you're mad. Because basically, there's no chance for these guys. So hopefully, some of these guys that got this accident has a fast repair left.
As you just saw that wild ride from inside the 21's cockpit view. A wild ride by Jeff Bergner. But Dan LaFoe leading these guys down pit road. It looks like everybody's going to come along this time. Actually, Danny Vanezuela once again staying out. He thinks track position's probably going to trump everything else.
He's probably wanting to stay out front so he can stay out of the mayhem, hopefully.
We are working our third caution. Our third caution lap here of the night. See a bunch of those guys down pit road. But out front, it's going to be the 04, Ricky Danny Vanezuela, followed by Michael Klein. Michael Klein races for Loud Pedal Racing. That's also Iceman out there in chat. That's his teammate. That's who he's pulling for, along with Dan LaFoe in the 27. But Danny Vanezuela out first. Michael Klein second. Colton Farrow right there in the third position. Those three did not come down pit road. The first guy off pit road, it looks like, is going to be the 37 of Cole Day, Craig Schwartz, Michael Whitaker, Willie Evernham, Cody Griffin, Dan LaFoe, Chris Brown, Kerry Chim, Liam Sheen, Jeff Bergner, Cody Levitt, and Mac Robelny. That's your 15 drivers that are left on track as we sit after 26 laps.
Roger, Danny Vanezuela needs a good run here tonight. The reason why he does, because you know in the past races there that he had his wife actually racing for him when he was unable to make an event. And she actually scored and done a lot better job than what he did. And he took a whole ration of crap for that, basically. So he needs to have a good run tonight just so he can get some of the hecklers off his back.
As we go a little bit closer, there's that 04 of Danny Valenzuela. His wife did drive for him one time while he was caught at work. He deals with people like you, Bobby, the inmates.
Well, it happens.
But we haven't
Right
seen. We haven't
Right now, he's
seen.
got to deal with these other guys out here on this track.
That's right, but we haven't seen Danny have a good run himself since Pocono when his team finished 1-2-3. That was Danny, along with the 62 of Colton and the 4 of Matt Grobelny. Those three had a 1-2-3 at Pocono, but we haven't seen a lot of that team doing also hot, I guess. I guess you could say do it for Dale Motorsports of Cole Day, Craig Schwartz, and Cody Levitt. They've kind of been dominating the series ever since.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job. What they need to do now is they need to get up nose to tail. They need to get together. They need to stay in a single file line, and they need to draft, and try to get the way up here and help this guy. You got a lot of teams out here that are working together right now, but mainly these guys are going to have to settle down because some of them they have no more fast repairs, and they still have close to 30 laps left of this race. They got to keep their nose out of trouble if they want any chance of winning this thing whatsoever.
As Rudy Cummings out there in chat, Danny Valenzuela, he is a prison guard out there in Utah at the prison. So, yep, he works with the inmates, and, well, Bobby himself is kind of an inmate. He's stuck over here with me, so that's like being the inmate.
Yeah, it's just like being in prison. But you know what? That's all right. I've been with worse.
As you see your top 5 right there, Danny Valenzuela, Michael Klein, Cole Day, Craig Schwartz, and Michael Whitaker, your top 5. Michael Whitaker, Bobby, that's one of your favorite cars out there. He always has some crazy paint scheme just to drive you crazy.
You know, he does that intentionally. I told him one time that watching his crazy paint schemes gives me a headache. And basically he just said, well, plan on having a headache for the rest of the season. So he's having a lot of fun with me.
He's having a ball with Bobby's brain, which there's not much there, but, I mean, come on, Bobby.
It looks like his kids finger painted his car.
But hey, that's one heck of a paint job by Michael Whitaker right there in that 707 machine, currently slotted in the 5th position.
He's always flashy. I call him the Liberace of street stocks. One flashy guy out there.
Back out front, though, that's still going to be the 04s. We're still working under caution. Let's see what happens here. Your top 2 guys did not come down to pit. They're out there on 10-lap old tires, and everybody behind them on fresh rubbers. We're about to get going back green flag racing with the Salt Flat guys here. Once that dreaded pace car makes its way off the track here, Danny Valenzuela is going to be your control car slotted there on that inside lane as he's not waiting around like last time. He's back on the loud pedal. We are back racing here from Vegas with the street stocks, the Salt Flat Racing. Danny Valenzuela hopped out there. It looks like probably about a 3-4 car lengths lead right now over that 10 of Michael Klein, who's on the outside. Cole Day is on the inside. Let's see how when these guys catch them. As you see the 02 of Craig Schwartz, he jumped down behind that 37 of Cole Day. That's his teammate.
He did a good job. Made a good evasive maneuver to get down there to get behind his teammate.
Now you see on that outside lane the 10 of Michael Klein. He's going backwards. But don't look. Dan LaFoe's on his way. Don't worry. That's his teammate. If he can get to him, will he push him? Whole thing is, can he and will he get to him in time before those top 3 who are nose to tail? You see a little connection issue there with the 10. We'll go back up here. Pick one of the leaders up here. Danny Valenzuela out front there.
These heavy cars are kind of sliding all over the place. You cannot make super quick moves of these things because they will not respond as fast because they're twice as heavy as any other car that they race with. So you got to take that into factor when you're trying to make an evasive maneuver.
So far, so good. We're going to be halfway this time at the line. Who's going to lead at the halfway point? The 04, Danny Valenzuela. He is out front. It looks like as long as Cole Day doesn't hook the bumper coming out of turn 4, going through the tri-oval now, Danny Valenzuela is going to lead at the halfway point here from Las Vegas.
Danny's doing a real good job. He's hitting his marks, holding his line right there. The 37 of Cole Day, he's doing also a very good job. But like you can see right there, when they go into the turns, he starts to drift up the track a little bit. And that's something that they have to anticipate or they're going to have another accident.
He drifts up the track. The 10 of Michael Klein came down the track. That's not a good combination, but right now Michael Klein's making that outside work as you see him really close on that door of that 04 car as they work through turn 3 and 4 right now. He's trying to get that, we said the side draft doesn't work that much. Michael Klein looks, though, right now to be proving us wrong. Looks like he's packing that air on the spoiler of the 04.
What he needs right now is somebody to get behind him and give him a hand just a little bit. He's out there all by himself trying to get up there to get around the 04 Danny Valenzuela. Right now, I think Danny Valenzuela, he's probably got an 8-track stuck in that bad boy, and he's probably listening to his cousin Ricky Valenzuela's songs, and he's just in zone all by himself.
Living the Vida Loca as they go into turn 3. Danny Valenzuela still leading him. Cold Day is right there pushing him in that 37 machine, and Craig Schwartz right on the heels of that 37. Got a couple guys side by side. No action going on right now that you can't see on track. The 1-2-3 car right now, he's slotted on the outside there. The 707 of Michael Whitaker. That's Cody Griffin, though, in the 1-2-3 car. The Folgers car out there, if you will.
Oh, back up front, you got a little bit of bumping going on, a little bit still. The 10 there, he's still having connection issues. He's popping in and out. That right there is basically a disaster waiting to happen. Hopefully we don't have any situations or any problems because of that.
I saw back here in the pack, the 27 of Dan LaFoe got pushed up the track by the 707 of Michael Whitaker. That's going to lose, or he's going to lose a couple position. He's now going to go back to about the 10th position, side by side with Colton Farrell. Oh no, there goes the 27 off the front bumper of the 62. Everybody looks to gather it up. It looks like Colton's going to be the guy who's going to go get the short end and spin around to the inside there through the grass. No caution. Looks like Colton's going to be able to refire the 62, get back out on track as he's good working through turn 1. Back out front, though, Ricky Valenzuela still your leader. Cold Day on his bumper, Craig Schwartz on his. The outside lane, that's going to be Michael Klein, followed by the 1-2-3 of Cody Griffin.
Yeah, these cats they're just nose to tail. They're close. They're kind of dooring each other a little bit. They're kind of getting a little anxious right here, as you can see.
That 37 all out of shape.
When you get bumped, Roger, I mean it's just like being on ice. I mean you've really gotta stand on the wheel. This is definitely what you want to call a white knuckle ride.
Elbows up, white knuckles, holding onto the steering wheel. As we know, once these tires do wear off on these street stocks, they are very heavy, and they start steering with the rear tires. What is Cold Day going to do now? He saw that 10 car work his way to the outside. Oh, the 04 and the 1-2-3 cars side by side, dooring each other. Danny Valenzuela, Cody Griffin, side by side. That broke the draft up there for the number 10. That gave Danny Valenzuela the run to the inside. Now Cody Griffin drops down and is going to push the 04. Michael Klein now on an island all by himself back on the outside.
If it wasn't for the 1-2-3 of Cody Griffin right there, I got a strong suspicion Danny Valenzuela would have been somewhere back up into the fence because he hit him, but yet he straightened him right back out, and he's still on the loud pedal, and he's still up there leading the race.
Danny Valenzuela, your control cars, you see him on the bottom. Now it looks like Cody Griffin in that 1-2-3 car was looking to the outside. He decides, though, going into turn 3, he's going to drop back behind the 04 and try and get back on the bumper, push him around. Not the time yet, he says. He's going to sit there. You see every time coming off the corner, Bobby, that 1-2-3 looks to the outside now, but it looked like he was unsure of what Ricky Valenzuela there in the 04 was trying to do on the inside lane. It didn't look like he was very comfortable pushing that 04.
No, he was not comfortable pushing him. He figured he'd get out beside him, hopefully, and now maybe the 10 of Michael Klein could give him a good push. Michael Klein's been up there fighting these guys with no help whatsoever on that outside line.
Now Michael Klein pushing the 1-2-3. It looks like Michael Klein has the... Oh, boy, they're going to go 3 wide here going into turn 3. Michael Klein pushing the envelope in that 10. He's already used a quick repair. It looks like he's not afraid to use a... Or, it's like he's not afraid to push the envelope. As now the 1-2-3 car is going to have to make a decision. He drops to the bottom. He didn't like what the 10 did, so now he's going to go to the bottom. Now they're looking 3 wide again.
That was a perfect textbook maneuver right there by Michael Klein in that 10. He didn't touch anybody. He was really easy on his moves. He was doing absolutely everything perfectly, and he was able to make that, work out for him.
Michael Klein does have a little bit of left front damages now. It looks like the 1-2-3 was unsure, again, going into turn 3 if he wanted to go 3 wide or not. Slots down in behind the 04 of Danny Valenzuela again. Now we have a shakeup. Looks like the 37 of Cold Day and the 02 of Craig Schwartz, they have now gone to the outside. That's going to bring the 91 of Willie Evernham there in that Milwaukee's best car. He's now going to be the 3rd car on the inside lane.
right now, Michael Klein in that number 10 and Craig Schwartz is a little bit nervous right now due to the fact that your leader, Danny Venezuela, in the second place of Cody Griffin right there, they're running on 22 laps on their tires right now. So watch these guys when they go into the turns. That car drifts all the way up halfway on that track. They are losing grip every single lap they run.
As I just got word from race control, the 4 of Matt Grobelny, who is currently, it looks like 29 laps down. When he came in from that accident that we saw early on, the fast repair did not activate 1 hour of repairs for that 4 car. He is done for the night.
Well, he wants to grab himself a bowl of cereal, get back in his rig, and sit down and eat it and watch these guys, because these guys are battling it out right here. They are pushing and shoving all over the place.
They are pushing and shoving as we got 2 by 2 for the first 3 rows. Michael Klein side by side with the 04 Danny Venezuela right there, who just kind of pushed up the track, almost got into the 10 as he entered turn 3. Off turn 4, though, they are nose to tail again at the front. That's going to be the 04 of Danny Venezuela, who is going to have it here at the line. It looks like Michael Klein's going to lead that lap. Michael Klein taking advantage on the outside.
You are not going to be able to continue running this tight and pushing as much as they're pushing without causing a big one, if you will. There's no way. These guys have 24 laps on their tires. Those tires are gone. These rear ends are as slick as being on ice. One little tap the wrong way, and they're going to spin them out.
One little tap or one little blink, as we saw Michael Klein go through 1 and 2 there. He blinked out for a moment. It looked like the 37 of Cold Day did not know what to do. But all good as, the 04, now it's going to cause a big check if the 04 was sideways coming off turn 4. Danny Venezuela with those old tires getting a bump from that 1-2-3 car on the inside. That's Cody Griffin. He was sideways, but he gathered it up. Everybody checked up nicely. Everybody's all right. There's still 2 by 2 for your first 3 rows.
And they're still pushing and shoving. He got a little bit of loose right there from the 123 again, but he was able to collect it back up before going into the turn right here.
We have some excellent racing up here at the front. You got about your top 10, top 11 cars just right here. Everybody in contention. Your top 10 all on the lead lap. 18 to go this time, Bobby.
And these guys are fighting like it's 1 lap to go. All of them up here, nose to tail. Throw a blanket over every single one of these guys. You'll cover them completely up. That's how tight they are together.
See them separate as they go down the straightaway there. It looks like Michael Klein, Cold Day on the outside. They have the advantage, but it looks like the 37 a little loose there on that outside as he's getting a good push also from his teammate, the 02. That's Craig Schwartz there on the outside. Danny, though, still the inside guy as Klein comes down to try and get a side draft. He separates. Who's going to lead that lap? Looks like the 10 of Michael Klein still going to be out there as your leader. Danny Venezuela, though, edges a front. They're going into turn 1.
I'll tell you what, I'm as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs right now, and I'm sure these drivers are the exact same way. These things are really, really loose right now, probably as loose as they've ever been in this entire race.
This definitely looks like a Daytona, just at a slower pace. And you got the 37 right now of Cold Day looking to the inside of the 10. Is that going to shuffle them? Is the 02 of Craig Schwartz going to push the 37? Their teammates, we expect that to happen. As it looks like, oh no!
Here we go. Will they hold it? Can they hold it? Look
Oh
at the
no!
23.
The one, oh boy!
What
They
a
all
job of
saved
hanging
it!
on.
Everybody just held on to that, but that's going to leave Danny Venezuela on an island all by himself. The 1-2-3 still Cody Griffin getting sideways off the front bumper of the 91. The 02 and the 37 now jumping down to the inside. That's going to leave Michael Klein again to the outside. What are these guys going to do next? What an exciting race so far here. Danny Venezuela looks like he's coming to pit road. It looks like he's had enough.
I'll tell you right now, buddy, the 123 Roger Cody Griffin, I can guarantee you if there's a way I could get him into the booth and talk to him right now, he would tell me his butt cheeks are sore because he had it clinched all the way around that track trying to gather it up, and what a heck of a job he did.
Whew. What a chain of events right there that happened on that last lap. That shuffled the running order. Now Cold Day's your leader. Craig Schwartz there in the 02 right behind him. Cody Griffin in third. Michael Klein jumping to the inside lane right there. He's now slotted in your 4th position. Willie Evernham up to the 5th position. Michael Whitaker. Looks like now the 91 of Willie. He's going to pull it down. He's probably low on fuel. He's going to make his pit stop right here.
Now the question we have, how many people, have enough fuel to go all the way up here? Or are they going to have to pit? When they pit, they're going to be green flag pit stops. What is going to happen?
Your leaders came in 21 laps ago. We calculated the fuel to be about 27 at most laps. I'm not sure they're going to have enough, Bobby.
It's going to be interesting if they do not have enough because they're nose to tail right now. How are they going to get off this track and make a successful green flag pit stop? Nobody's done a green flag pit stop this whole entire race. That's a whole new ball game.
You say single file. Michael Klein says, Bobby, you're a liar. I'm side by side with Cody Griffin for the 3rd place. He's not giving up. Michael Klein has been on the offensive all race long there in that 10 machine. Started in the 16th position, led laps, making that outside lane work. Now slotted right there in that 3rd, 4th position. It just keeps going back and forth between him and Michael Klein and Cody Griffin just keep trading positions there for the 3rd place.
And Craig Swartz again, Roger. Look at him up here fighting for the lead right now with 13 laps to go. And this guy right here, he's a pusher. He loves to push, and he also knows how to win races. We want to keep an eye on this guy.
Well, he is definitely a ginger. We know that one for sure as we see him pushing the 37. Looks like Michael Klein might have brought that machine down pit road to make his pit stop, as there he is. He's pulled off the racing surface. He made it to pit road cleanly. Hope he can have a great pit stop here and get back out on the track. Cold day, though, out front. That leaves just a handful of guys. It looks like probably the top 6 now. 7 cars possibly still out there.
All 3 of these cats out here, Roger, are on 24 laps of tires. 24 laps on these. You know they are loose as they could possibly be. The 707's on 24 laps of tires also.
As you see somebody coming down pit road, it looks like that's Danny Valenzuela again coming through pit road. I'm not sure, he might have had a speeding penalty and having to come down and serve it. Unfortunate for the 04. He had a great race going. Back out front, though, still Cole Day. Cold day, trying to be as cold as the night. Cold night up there in that 37 machine up front.
He's driving like Michael Knight of the Night Rider, I can tell you that. He's just hanging on. He's blocking. He's taking those push and jabs that the 0-2 of Craig Swartz is giving him. And right there again, you got the 123 of Cody Griffin. He's also on his rear end. I mean, these guys are battling out right now. They realize that they only got 11 laps to go here, and they're going to have to make something happen. They got to start now.
11 laps to go. 10 laps here at the line. Bobby, by the way, you made a Knight Rider reference. What is Knight Rider?
Oh, for the love of God. Now you're showing my age and yours.
Oh, boy. But hey, out front, they're single filed out. When are they going to make their last pit stop? Are they going to have to make a pit stop? How much fuel have they saved? As they're working up on that lap car, the 9th place guy of Liam Sheen. He's currently on the lead lap, but in the 9th position, about to be taken over by the leaders, as it looks like the 707 of Michael Whitaker, he's going to pull it off. He's coming to make his last pit stop.
Are these guys going to basically gamble? Are they going to flip the quarter up in the air and call it heads or tails and see if they've got enough to go all the way here? You got to remember, when you're the pusher, you actually can, you're going to lose a lot more fuel. You're going to use it right up, really. But if you're the pushy, being pushed, you can actually save fuel.
That's right. Now your top 3 guys are the only 3 out there who have not pitted. But now here's a wild card, Bobby. I'm going to give you something that you don't see out here on track. Yeah, you see 4 cars drafting together right here. This 10th place car, the 38, Cody Levitt. He's a lap down. 2 laps down to be exact. Will he help the 37 of Cole Day and the 02 of Craig Swartz? Those are 3 teammates. Yeah, Cody's a lap down, but what's he going to do? Does he come into pit road with those top 2 guys if they need to make a pit stop? 3 cars? Definitely quicker than 1.
If these guys are on the same channel, I'm sure they're talking out some kind of a strategy. You know as well as I do in a drafting track, the more cars you have coming in, the better chances you got getting back out on the track and making up some time. They're going to have to be quick about it because it's going to be 7 laps to go this time by.
The longer they run, though, the possibly just the lesser amount of time they're going to have to spend on pit road also. As just maybe possibly a 2-second stop here is coming, as these guys are actually on now, lap 28 on their stint. So possibly look for these guys to be coming in any lap now.
Something else you got to worry about is that guy up in front of you. Is he going to chance it way too long and run out of fuel on you? If he runs out of fuel, then you're going to cause a situation there, and it could also take you out of the chance to win this race. These guys are, I mean, I'm sure they're thinking who's going to run out of gas and who's not going to run out of gas. I know it's on their mind.
Well, nobody's coming down this time. Now they're going to work lap 28 here on these tires and pit strategy. Nose to tail, 1, 2, 3. Your current top 10 standings as reads. Cole Day's up front, Craig Schwartz second, Cody Griffin in the third position, Michael Whitaker in fourth, 1 lap down, Michael Klein in fifth, 1 lap down, Dan LaFoe, 6th place, 1 lap down, Chris Brown, 7th place, 1 lap down, Kerry Chim in the 77 in 8th place, a lap down, the 51 of Liam Sheen, also 1 lap down, and Cody Levitt, right there, that 38 car, 2 laps down, is now you see your leaders coming down pit road. All 4, well, 3 of them and the lap car.
Can they get them slowed down in time and not hit anybody? Not get a speeding penalty right now. If you get a speeding penalty, you're done. You might as well park the car. These guys look like they're hitting their marks pretty well. They're not speeding so far. And you're going to see a little dash of gas, and they're gone.
As you see all of them coming in. Cody Levitt blew past his pit. The 37 of Cold Day also slid through his pit. The 02 hit his pit, and Cody Griffin hit his pit also good. Counting. Right now, it looks like 10 seconds in pit. The 02's down. 02 is down and away. The 37 down and away. It looks like they're going to jump out ahead of Cody Griffin in that 1, 2, 3 car. Can these two get nose to tail, though? Where is Michael Klein on track? Where is Michael Whitaker also on track? Those guys are right there. There's Michael Whitaker. He's going to be your 4th place guy. He's slotted. Coming through turn 1 right now is Craig Schwartz, Cole Day. They're working off turn 2. They're on the backstretch. Right now, they're just not together. It looks like it might come down to a 2-horse race here between the 2 teammates. 5 to go, 4 to go at the line.
Guys need to get hooked up. They need to stay in single file, and they need to get some momentum going. And if they do, it's going to be anybody's race between those.
Right there, you see the distance going. There's Craig Schwartz, Cold Day right there. And then it's a huge gap, about 5-second gap back to 3rd place of Cody Griffin. Then it's 7 seconds back to Michael Whitaker, and a whole 23 seconds back to the 5th place guy of Michael Klein. Can Cole Day reel in that 02 of Craig Schwartz, or is Schwartz going to be able to gap and pull away? It looks like the 37 might be backing up right now to see if he can get a push from the 51 of Sheen. But will he run out of time?
Craig Schwartz is doing everything he can to make this track as short as possible.
Oh, it looks like the 37 is either off the pace or was trying to back up to the 51, as the 51 gave him one heck of a shot going into turn 1. Now the 51's pushing him. They're separated again. That might not be the best of plans for the 37.
It's not the best of plans for the 37 at all, but I can tell you right now, Craig Schwartz is probably sitting up there with a grin from ear to ear right now.
As we go on board here with the 37, you can just see that 02, the Ginger Machine, up there ahead of him of Craig Schwartz out the front windshield. He can see 1st place. He knows the laps are winding down. He just can't get to him yet.
And again, Craig Schwartz is doing everything right. He is making his track as short as possible. He's running it right down on the bottom. He's coming down, crossing over that white line, and he's trying to cut off as much time as he possibly can to get him out in the open, and it's going to be smooth sailing right here.
As we look right now, with that 51 of Sheen pushing him, that 37 is pulling hard on the 02. They just need to stay nose to tail, but I still think they're going to run out of laps here.
Well, they need to stay together is what they need to do. They're not exactly staying hooked up like that. If they'd stay hooked up and they had a little bit more time, they definitely would be able to run him down. But absolutely not. Right now, it's going to be Craig Schwartz's win. There's no doubt about it.
Now they got 3 cars back there in line, but probably a little too late now. Craig Schwartz out front working down the backstretch. All he has to do is put together a good turn 3 and a good turn 4 as he works into 4. Now the 37 back here is in a battle with the 1, 2, 3 of Griffin. He got a bump. I'm not sure what's going on with the 37. It looks like he's possibly out of gas. It looks like he's coming across the line at 100 miles an hour now. 37 of Cold Day running out of fuel. Can he get to the line? No, Whitaker's going to beat him to the line. Michael Whitaker in the 707. He's going to beat that 37 to the line. Michael Whitaker is going to steal third place from Cold Day here in the closing.
I got to ask right here, what in the world? That 123 of Cody Griffin, he came out like a bullet right there at the finish line, and he actually had a good run going there on Craig Schwartz. Where did he come from?
Not a clue as we were watching the 37 of Cold Dave run out of fuel coming out of turn 3 and 4. That's going to drop him to the 4th position. What a finish. What a race, Bobby, altogether from these guys. They put on one heck of a show every week.
I'm still mind-boggled right now. I don't know if you could rewind that back and check or whatever, but where in the heck did Cody Griffin come from?
Let's see if we can go back and find where Cody Griffin came from. Let's check the replay. Let's go back and see. As right here we see the 123 of Cody Griffin right on the bumper of the 37. That's coming through turn 3 and 4 right there. 37's out of fuel. Not sure. Oh no, it looks like Craig Schwartz also ran out of fuel. That's what gave the 123 such a run. Oh, they came across the line sideways. The O2 of Craig Schwartz went to block the 123 of Cody Griffin. Let's go on board here. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. On board here with the 123. You're watching the onboard coming to the finish line. He's trying to duck underneath the O2. The O2 turns down. They go spinning across the line. Cody Griffin, the gap between Craig Schwartz and Cody Griffin at the line, 0.004.
This started all the way back right here with the 37. A Cold Day was right in front of him. He runs out of fuel, and he just bumps him out of the way, and he just takes off like a rocket ship. And I'm sitting here watching it, and all of a sudden, your leader, Craig Schwartz, apparently is running out of fuel. And, man, Cody Griffin was licking his chops to that finish line, and he almost pulled it off.
Wow, Bobby, good calls. We go back on board here. Once again, oi! What a race.
Now that is street stock racing at a super speedway. It doesn't get any better than this.
Well, guys, we're going to step away for a moment. We're going to gather these guys. We'll let your times scroll across the top there. See if we can get a hold of some of these finishers and see what they thought about that finish. We'll be right back with you. Don't go nowhere. All right, we're back here with your post-race. We gathered up your top 3. We got the 707 of Michael Whitaker. We got the 123 of Cody Griffin, and we have the 02 of Craig Schwartz up here in the booth. We're going to get to talking with these guys. I got Michael Whitaker. Michael, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Michael, what did you see there coming to the line, man? Everybody looked to be running out of fuel, and that 707 machine that you were driving, you just kind of snuck in there for a third-place finish.
Yeah, I kind of did. I played it safe on that last pit stop and took 2 gallons. I looked like everybody else only took 1, and looked like 1 wasn't quite enough.
1 wasn't enough as everybody was running out of fuel, but that 707 machine had enough fuel to make it to the end. What was going on out there? We saw a lot of side-by-side, a lot of A lot of bump drafting, a lot of trying to side draft. Was it as crazy on track as it looked up here for us?
Yeah, it really was. When you get up behind somebody, it's a little hard to see your corner entry, and people were rubbing a lot, but it was good racing. The car was real forgiving. Even the guys that got sideways, most of the time they saved it.
We did see a lot of guys getting sideways. We saw quite a few run it in the tri-oval getting sideways and kind of bunched everybody up, but everybody gathered her up and moved on, and we had one heck of a race.
Yeah, it really was. That transition between the banking on the front straightaway and the flat did tend to upset the car. You had to be on either one or the other. If you got caught on the transition, it really made the car squirrely.
Looks like we're having a little bit of connection issues with you here, Mike, as you're blinking in and out on screen and you sound like a robot. But hey, congratulations on that third place finish. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Don't thank Bobby, but as Bobby would say, we don't discriminate. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anybody other than Bobby?
No, not really. Just thanks to the guys for putting on this league. This has turned out to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad I found it.
All right, well, hey, congratulations. The third place finish for the 707 of Michael Whitaker. That's a couple weeks in a row here, Bobby, that we've got a chance to talk to Michael Whitaker in that 707 machine, but I think you caught up with our second place finisher.
I sure did. Hey, Cody Griffin, it's Bobby and Roger in the booth. You got me.
Yeah, man, I got you.
I got to tell you what, son. You made that race one of the most exciting races I've ever broadcasted there at the end. You got to tell me what was on your mind when you realized that those three cats in front of you were running out of fuel.
Yeah, we got into a little bit of contact going into 3 earlier in the race, and got a EOL penalty for it. I just ran out of talent, lost the front end, and pushed up and caused a caution. It was completely my fault. I hate everybody that got caught up in that. But so I had to come from the back of the field, and it's funny, actually, about lap 30. For whatever reason, I lost my spotter audio. I didn't have no spotter for the last 30 laps. Rudy Cummins, one of my good friends, he come in my race room and asked me, he's like, how is it? I was like, well, it'd be great if I had a spotter. But, yeah, so the last 30 laps I did it without a spotter. And coming down to the end, I was actually starting to wonder if them guys that were running 1 and 2 at the time when I was in third coming to pit, I didn't know if they were going to pit. I was kind of getting worried that I was going to have to pit by myself. And finally, they called that they were pitting, so I ducked down in pit road with them, and, you know, I seen them pull out a pit road in front of me and pretty much figured my chances to win were gone. And then I noticed I was catching them with about 3 to go, and I'm like, you don't think these guys are out of fuel, do you? But sure enough, I started catching them, so I just kept digging. I didn't lift for nothing. Coming down to the line, I passed the guy that was in second. He ran out going into 3 on the white flag, passed him, and then the leader ran out coming through the tri-oval, and I went to pass him down low, and he cut left on me right there at the checkered flag. I don't know, maybe he had a left front go down or what happened to him, but it's all good. It was a good race. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun and had a few good saves out of it too, so I'm pretty happy.
A few good saves. I tell you what, that save about 4 or 5 laps back there you were all over the place. Me and Roger up in the booth screaming at each other like crazy, hoping that you can hold on to it and not lose it. And I'll tell you, that was some really good driving. I mean, you was standing up on that wheel, and that right there is what gave you the opportunity to even go for this win right here. That was one heck of a save that you did, pal. But I got to tell you, you did a great job. Came in second place tonight. You got to be pretty proud of that. And basically, it was fun for us up here to watch, as much as fun it was for you probably driving that right there. But I got to do this. We do it to everybody that we interview. You got anybody out there that you want to thank? A boyfriend, a girlfriend, a mistress, a husband. We do not discriminate up here in the booth.
Well, I definitely ain't got no girlfriend, not because I don't want one, just because I race in real life too, and it's a lot cheaper to not have one.
You can't have a girlfriend in a race car. That's true.
But in all honesty, yeah, I'd like to thank Bennett's Detailing, Brooks Tutoring, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Spotter Pack, everybody that's on the car that helps out. I uploaded my paint before the race. It might not be uploaded, but it's all good. We'll be back next week. And thank you to MaxSpeedTV. Thank you to you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to everybody that put on the show. Thanks to the fans for watching. And if you didn't like that, I don't know what you like. Y'all come back next week.
I'm gonna tell you what, even a blind person would love this race right here tonight. There's no doubt about it. And basically, a lot of it goes to you on your skill of driving. You did a heck of a job tonight. Congratulations. We'll catch you next week. Get off your rig, go in the house, get something to drink, and you might want to change your shorts because I know off of that one accident that you saved that car on, I'm pretty sure you're probably needing to do that right now. But anyway, good luck, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You heard it right there, the 123 of Cody Griffin. Unfortunately, we don't have his paint uploaded here. It's still the default back to his Folgers car. But Cody Griffin coming up one spot short. But the guy who didn't come up short tonight, well, actually, I guess he did actually come up a little short. That's the 02, Craig Schwartz.
Yeah, I got you guys. That was pretty exciting finish, wasn't it?
Well, we don't expect anything less from a Ginger himself. What was going on there when you guys were staying out so long? What was going through your mind?
You know, we just people were starting to duck off there, and I knew if me and Cole stuck together, pushing each other, we would be able to gain a lot of lap time because coming out of pits, it's hard to get reconnected with people. So we were trying to stay out as long as we could, just stay in line with each other. And Cody was there with us, and we were just, all three of us were just staying out. We were pulling away from everybody else by the time we all cycled through. So, but I was talking to Cole. I kind of had to convince him when we were coming in there. I didn't realize he had a little less fuel than me because he was out front of me and I was pushing him. But I was telling him we needed like a gallon and a half to finish the race there, and I thought if we took a gallon, and we would gain a lot of track time because it takes a lot of time to put fuel in these cars. But with the track time we save, we could start lifting and save enough fuel to make sure that we could get out in front of Cody. And unfortunately for Cole, he ended up a little bit short, like I said. But oh man, it made for an exciting finish right there. Then I ran out of fuel coming out of 4, and I saw Cody coming. I just needed to be into the line.
Well, that was one exciting finish. The 37, your teammate, he ran out of fuel coming into turn 3. He didn't make it back to the line in time. He ended up in 4th. You, though, on the other hand, you ran out coming out of 4 and went side by side with the 123 of Cody Griffin. You had to block your way to get to this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no getting around that. I definitely turned so he couldn't get by me. I mean, it's just, you do what you got to do to win a race, man. I wouldn't do something like that in real life. I'm not a fan of tearing up cars, but in this, I'm just going for the win, trying to keep the points lead. I wanted to do it, and Cody raced hard all race. He's an aggressive driver, and it's cool to see more people who actually race in real life like me. It's cool to get to race against more people on here like that. And hope to see him come back. I know I would probably have been upset if I was in his position too, but hopefully he gets a chance to do it to me sometime.
Well, congratulations on your win. You put that 0-2 back in victory lane once again over here on MaxSpeedTV. What a show you put on. Congratulations on your win. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I think I always just thanks Cole for racing with me, getting in the league, and it's thanks to everybody who puts on this league. I tried to run a league for a little bit. It was more time than I could handle. These guys are doing a way better job than I ever did. So it's I know that it takes a lot of personal time, so I appreciate them putting sessions up, and hope it keeps going.
Well, hey, congratulations here from Las Vegas. You are the winner. Once again, you're going to extend that points lead you have over Chris Brown and Cole Day. Congratulations, and hope to see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Look forward to it next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, you heard it there, Bobby. He blocked for he blocked for the race. He was battling there for the win. He was out front. He wanted the win. 100 feet from the line, or from the finish line, like he said, you're gonna do what you got to do.
Absolutely, he did exactly what he needed to do to win the race, and here he is, number 1.
Number 1 again today. Well, Bobby, it's that time, the time that you love, to run through the finishing order here tonight. Your winner was the 0-2 of Craig Schwartz, the new guy out there. You heard from him. The 123 of Cody Griffin, he's finished in the 2nd position. The 707 of Michael Whitaker, he finished in 3rd. He beat Cole Day in that 37 machine, who finished 4th to the line. The guy who we saw up front quite a bit here tonight, that's the 10 of Michael Klein. He's going to bring that 10 machine home in the 5th spot. Sixth place, that's going to go to the one of Chris Brown. He didn't have the night he wanted to, but a sixth place finish is all he could muster. There's 27 of Dan LaFoe bringing it home in the 7th spot. Kerry Chim rebounding in that 77 car for an 8th place finish. The 51 of Liam Sheen, he brought that home 9th. And Willie Evernham in the 91 is going to round out your top 10.
And it looks like I get all the hard names pronounced back here in the back. Just my lucky day here. The 11th position was the 04 of Danny Valenzuela. He ran up front for quite a bit up through there, running around really good. Got caught up in a few incidents, and of course he ended up coming out with 11th place finish. 12th place was the quiet man, Cody Levette, in the 38. Looks like 13th position was the 62 of Colton Farrow. The 14th position was 21 of Jeff Bergner, I believe. 15th, the 4 of Matt Grumbly. And unfortunately, I think a little bit of bad luck with you, Roger, because you actually picked him to win this race. So he might have a bone to pick with you when this is over with. The 16th position came in with Brandon Miller for the last spot.
Well, that's not the last spot, Bobby. I see a 17th car here on the lobby, and that looks like the 103 of
Well,
Bobby
that was me out there playing with these guys.
Bobby Johnson? Wait, is that your picture, Bobby?
Oh, no, you didn't, did you? Well,
wait a minute.
It was right after a workout, Roger. I'm a little sweaty.
Well, now everybody out there on YouTube that's watching these guys, this is Salt Flat Racing. That's Bobby Johnson, the broadcaster up here in the booth. That looks like your picture. Now everybody knows. The secret's out. You can no longer hide it.
You're right. I spend about 23 out of 24 hours in the gym. My body is my temple.
Well, there you guys have it. His body is his temple. That's from Las Vegas. But, Bobby, we saw some great action out here tonight with the Salt Flat guys.
Saw the best action you've ever seen in a race. You had every single thing you could think of in a race right now. You had 2 wide, 3 wide. You had bumping. You had dooring. You had drafting. You had unbelievable saves by some of these guys out here. You had people running out of fuel. You even had green flag pit stops. I mean, everything all rolled up into one. This right here, by far, is probably one of the best races that you could have.
It was one of the best finishes for sure that we've ever seen over here at MaxSpeedTV with the Salt Flat guys. I can't remember a closer race. That finish between the 02 of Craig Schwartz and the 123 of Cody Griffin, .004.
It doesn't get any closer to that. If there's any closer, those guys would have been on each other's lap.
Well, Bobby, that's going to do it for us over here with MaxSpeedTV. Everybody who just joined in out there on YouTube, thanks for watching. You guys saw one heck of a show. For MaxSpeedTV, I'm Roger Muth. That's Bobby Johnson. We're going to catch you next week at Auto Club, another 1.5 mile. Look to see the same kind of racing. So tune in next week, knuckleheads.
See ya.
MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershey Design. Hershey Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop if you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag. Hit up Orion at the Hershey Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, SimSpeedShop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also, iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to